Next, we have before the committee Senate Bill 102. It's to eliminate daylight saving time. It's sponsored by the Senate State Affairs Committee. With me, we have staff to the Senate State Affairs Committee, Joe Hayes, to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Joe Hayes, and I'm staff to the State Affairs Committee. So I'll give the down and dirty. So Senate Bill 102 eliminates Alaska's observation of the twice-yearly clock change known as daylight savings time and opts to keep Alaska's in permanent observation of standard time. Arizona, Hawaii, 5 U.S. territories, and many other countries have ceased the observation of daylight savings time. 60% of countries in the EU voted to remove observation of daylight savings time in 2019. There are many negative health effects associated with the annual clock change, regardless of springing forward or falling back. Negative health effects include mental and behavioral issues, risk to cardiovascular health, circadian rhythm changes, and injuries due to the lack of light in the morning and switching to daylight savings time. Permanent standard time is the best option for Alaskans around the state. Many studies point to standard time being the best and healthiest option for everyone, including Alaskans. This is the quickest way to stop the twice annual clock change. Russia tried permanent daylight savings time and had it lead to increased health issues, stress in northern Russia, harsh winter months due to the lack of sunlight. There was an increase in road accidents due to permanent daylight savings time. The current federal law allows states to exempt themselves from observing daylight savings time, which is why Hawaii, Arizona, and 5 U.S. territories observe year-round standard time. However, states are not allowed to move to permanent daylight savings time until Congress amends the Uniform Time Act. So for that reason, the committee has chosen to go with standard time. And with that, I'll be open for questions.
Okay, there's lots of questions. Are there any questions of the committee? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we do have some invited and public testimony. We'll go ahead and open up invited testimony. We have with us JP, the founder of Safe Standard Time. He's a resident of the greater Phoenix area and hails from rural Iowa. Jay is a software engineer, graphic designer, and former member of the San Francisco Amateur Astronomers Board of Directors and an enthusiast for circadian health. As a child, his great-grandfather, a farmer, taught him to tell time from the sun. In 2019, Jay began Save Standard Time, an online and letter-writing campaign in response to the rush of permanent daylight savings time bills that contradicted historical and scientific evidence. The nonprofit was registered as a 501c4 in 2021. We have Jay online on Teams. There you are. Welcome to the Senate State Affairs Committee. If you could state your name and your affiliation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Mr. JP. First name is spelled J-A-Y. Last name is spelled P-E-A, and I'm the president of the nonprofit Safe Standard Time. I'm also the co-chair for the Coalition for Permanent Standard Time, a collaborative effort with 8 nonprofits for health and safety. I'm here to ask for a yes on SB 102 and a no on SB 26. Daylight saving time does not make summer happen. It does not make daylight happen. It's simply a hidden mandate to wake up earlier. When you turn your clock ahead an hour, your alarm will sound an hour earlier the next day and every day after. This, over the long term, deprives sleep, which can lead to many health problems, safety problems. It can even cost lives and money. Permanent daylight time has been tried before, and it's been repealed because it turns out it costs more lives and money. It would put the sunrise in Anchorage past 9 o'clock in the morning for 4.5 months, as late as 11:16 a.m. People need that morning light to feel healthy and alert. It's good for your circadian rhythms, good for your sleep health. It's especially good for school children, for commuters, for outdoor laborers, service personnel, and everyone really needs that morning sunlight as much as possible. This is the opinion of the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, the American Academy of Neurology, the National Safety Council, who's mentioned that Arizona and Hawaii have permanent standard time. Mexico adopted it just a couple of years ago. Many states are looking at this. The Oregon Senate just approved this. The Nevada Assembly has approved this. The Kansas Senate has approved this. There are many other states looking at permanent standard time. And Gallup just last month released a poll showing half of Americans want permanent standard time, only a quarter would like permanent daylight time. And finally, permanent standard time is federally pre-approved. You could put this into law as soon as your state is ready. So I would ask please to consider doing that. It's the quickest, safest, healthiest, and most lasting way to end the unpopular and disruptive clock changes. Yes, please, on 102. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. P, for being online. Thank you for your advocacy work. I did have a question, just because since the Community Regional Affairs Committee heard the bill, and now that it's in the State Affairs Committee, we've heard President Trump finally chime in on maybe his preference or maybe his non-preference, but at least he's tweeted something. I was just wondering what you thought about his his comments on daylight saving time.
Well, we've gotten 3 comments from President Trump in the last few months. In December, he said he wanted to eliminate DST. And in March, he said he didn't want to do anything. And then in April, he said he wanted more daylight at the end of the day. So I really can't predict what he will say next. But I know that permanent standard time is the healthiest way to go, the safest way to go, proven by history and science, and just basic first principles. If you were to decide where to set your clocks, you would set them to the sun. If daylight time were proposed today, I don't think anybody would go along with it.
Thank you very much, Mr. P, for your testimony. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we are going to next move down to Willow. We have Cindy Hite. If you could state your name and your affiliation for the record, and if you could just limit your testimony to 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Cindy Hite. I'm from Willow, Alaska, and I just wanted to say I fully support SB 102. I'm really happy to hear that it's actually hopefully going to happen, and that's it. I'm representing myself, and that's all I have to say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for your testimony, Ms. Hite.
Yep.
We will next move down to Anchorage. We have Lisa Alexia. If you would state your name and your affiliation for the record.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Chair Kawasaki and members of the Senate State Affairs Committee. For the record, my name is Lisa Alexia, and thank you for the opportunity to discuss SB 102 and why I'm in favor of it and why I oppose SB 26. My authority on this comes from living in Alaska and working in Alaska the last 25 years, first as a community health practitioner in remote villages, and later as a PA working in psychiatry and rural primary care. I'm really glad that you all are considering ways to eliminate daylight savings time. Senators, the bulk of Alaskans live in Anchorage and Fairbanks, which is 2.5 to 3.5 hours displaced from true solar noon during daylight savings times due to the loss of time zones in 1983. Ending daylight saving time would provide a great public health benefit in terms of reducing the burden of chronic physical and mental health diseases and likely reducing suicide rates, especially in Western Alaska. As well, it would improve educational outcomes and be a low-cost way to do that. However, how we eliminate daylight savings time matters a great deal for 2 reasons. First, SB 102 is the only bill that would actually help public health and safety because in Alaska, it would restore an hour of morning light, which we're all missing, and that's crucial for alertness. A growing body of evidence suggests that disrupting circadian rhythms by getting up long before sunrise contributes to many general public health and safety risks, as well as mental and educational problems, as detailed in documents filed. It's the harms associated with losing the morning light, even more than the actual changing of the clocks, which is what causes the public health burden of daylight saving time. This is especially important in Alaska specifically for the fall and the early spring months with the shorter days when many Alaskans struggle with getting up long before sunrise to go to work and school. The second reason it's important in Alaska is SB 102, if passed, would end daylight saving time this year because eliminating DST and reverting to standard time is a state-level decision, and it would put us in the category of Hawaii and Arizona, which would because we would simply no longer honor daylight saving time. SB 126 would kick the can down the road, depend on federal action, and it's not likely to occur. Lastly, the SB 126, if it would occur, it would put sunrise past 11 o'clock in the morning for a full 5 weeks in December and January, and for Southwest Alaska, 2 full months of winter, sunrise would occur after 11 a.m. In short, eliminating daylight savings time in favor of return to standard is like vaccines and seat belts and restriction on public smoking. You have to look at the large, complex data on a population level and legislate changes which individuals do not always perceive as their preferred option, but which benefit the public overall. Legislators like yourself are entrusted with weighing those decisions. I thank you very much. Advocate for the passage of SB 102 and drop and oppose SB 26 completely. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Thanks very much, Ms. Alexia. If you'd like to submit public testimony, you can also submit any written testimony to the committee. We are online at Senate State Affairs at akleg.gov. That's Senate State Affairs at akleg.gov. We have one or two more now. We've got Heather Koponen back in Fairbanks. If you would state your name and your affiliation, and you've got 2 minutes.
My name is Heather Koponen. I am just a voter, but I also was a healthcare provider for my career, and I have not liked having daylight savings time my whole life. And the previous speakers did a wonderful job talking about the difference between stopping daylight savings time, going to regular time, versus going to full-time daylight savings time. Whatever happens, you've got to pass one or the other, but this is the better one. You will hear, I'm sure, on SB 26 to people who want to be closer to Seattle time. Well, it sounds like the trend is to get rid of daylight savings times nationally, and that should be more important than keep for Southeast Alaskans to be close to Seattle time. I think, on the other hand, the people out the Aleutians, you know, we used to be 4 time zones. Now we're 1, and it's or 2, and it's better for all of us to go to not daylight savings time and to have it happen this year. I encourage you to pass this favorably out of committee and vote in favor later.
Great. Thank you very much, Ms. Koponen. We will now move up to Eagle River, where we have Mr. Lynn Willis.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having this hearing. I'm Lynn Willis from Eagle River. I'm representing myself. I've testified on this before, and my point is that SB 102 gets it done. The other one does not. The other one has what I consider a poison pill in it, which we will rely on the federal government to make a decision, and that may or may not ever happen. So I support modifying the other bill, SB 26, I think it is, to let it be imposed immediately, just like it is in SB 102, and we can get this rock out of our shoe, because there's no reason to do this. And if you impose Alaska on the state lower 48 on a map, it crosses the whole continent. I don't know how we can keep having just 1 or 2 time zones. I guess we still have another one in the Aleutians. But we're going to have to do something to have the clock align with the sun. So I understand that both those previous testimonies have hit upon it. One of them is Juneau never wants to get out of the Pacific time zone. And the other one is that we should not be dependent on the federal government, because that could take short of forever. So anyway, just get it done, pass SB 102, and we got enough in our rucksack right now. We don't need to do this anymore. There's no point in it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Willis, for your testimony today. Is there anybody else who'd like to testify on Senate Bill 102? Anybody in the room? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll go ahead and We'll keep public testimony open. If you have any public testimony you'd like to submit to the committee, you can do so at Senate State Affairs at akleg.gov, Senate State Affairs at akleg.gov. We're going to go ahead and set Senate Bill 102 aside, and we will take it up at a later time. We are going to hear next Senate Bill 26. Senate Bill 26 is sponsored by Senator Kelly Merrick of Eagle River. She and her staff, Kerry, Crocker, are here to present Senate Bill 26 to the committee.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Kawasaki, Vice Chair Bjorkman, and members of the State Affairs Committee. For the record, I'm Kelly Merrick, representing District L, beautiful Chugiak Eagle River, and we have a community that has a long time distaste for daylight saving time. I'd like to thank Senators Gray Jackson and Wilikowski for co-sponsoring this important legislation. Thank you for the opportunity to present SB 26 today. It covers an issue that has long affected Alaskans. SB 26 proposes to permanently exempt Alaska from daylight savings time, allowing our state to remain on standard time year-round. Now, Mr. Chair, how is Senate Bill 26 different from your Senate Bill 102? Well, it's the older, wiser, and more reasonable sibling. It's not the fun, easy kid, but the more responsible hard worker. It will seek federal approval to move Alaska to Pacific Standard Time. This shift would align our time zone with the West Coast. Now, that will take effort, but it will meet the needs of many stakeholders. And Mr. Chairman, I know that you are not afraid of hard work. I am pleased to report that Senate Bill 26 has already garnered broad support from key groups like the Alaska Travel Industry Association. They recognize the challenges posed by inconsistent timekeeping and understand how a consistent time zone will benefit tourism and travel-related businesses. Additionally, Alaska's banking community has expressed its support, noting that a unified time system will streamline operations, reduce complications in financial transactions, and benefit local businesses and residents alike. I am confident, Mr. Chairman, that Senate Bill 26 will provide long-term benefits to Alaskans, ensuring a more practical and consistent approach to timekeeping. My staff, Kerry Crocker, is with me to answer any questions or review the sectional analysis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Merrick. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Mr. Crocker, if you'd like to just give us a brief overview of what the bill does.
Sure. Kerry Crocker, staff to Senator Merrick. The bill in Section 1 exempts the state of Alaska from the observation of daylight savings time. In Section 2, it directs the Alaska State Legislature to formally petition the United States Department of Transportation to move the entire state of Alaska to Pacific Standard Time. It also requests that the U.S. DOT initiate proceedings under the Uniform Time Act of 1966, following the procedural requirements for changing time zones. Section 3 of the bill states that Section 1, the exemption from daylight savings time, will only take effect if the U.S. DOT places the entire state of Alaska within Pacific Standard Time on or before 2035. Section 4 provides that Section 2, which initiates the petition to the U.S. DOT, takes effect immediately upon passage of the Act. And Section 5 specifies that if Section 1, the exemption from daylight saving time, takes effect, it will do so on the effective date of the placement of Alaska into Pacific Standard Time.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Crocker. Are there any questions for the sponsor of the bill? Okay. Well, hearing and seeing none, we will also set Senate Bill 26 aside. We will set up amendment deadlines for both Senate Bill 26 and Senate Bill 102 for next Monday, April 28th at close of business. That's, again, April 28th at close of business. And public testimony will be open. I'll open up public testimony now if there's anybody who'd like to testify. I don't see anybody online, though, or in the room who'd like to testify. We will keep public testimony open, though, on both Senate Bill 26 and Senate Bill 102. Again, amendment deadline will be April 28th. do you have any closing comments before we set Senate Bill 26 aside?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for introducing us to Senate Bill 26.